We're live, and it is the 612 podcast on the YouTube platform. So, hope this is suitable. Message today: it's not what you know, it's what people think you know. And I'm aware that that might sound a little bit kind of salesy, and as if you're trying to hoodwink people by me saying that. But it's not. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say you've got to make people think that you know more than you do. What I'm trying to say is you've got to make people think that you know what you know, and make them aware of what you can do, of who you are, and of what you're capable of. That's all I'm saying, because I think a lot of us, as doctors, gone through the NHS and that sort of that scheme, we like to hide our light under a bushel, and we don't like to promote ourselves or shout about what we can do, which is noble and which is a good trait to have. But the problem is that if you're not letting people know what you can do and what you're capable of, it might be that they won't come and see you because they don't know that you can do what you can do. They don't know, who you are. They don't know what level of training you've got. And um, the fact is that many kind of reputable, fully trained doctors don't feel the need to do this, and they kind of think people should just know. They think patients should just know, and patients should come to them. But in the private practice, to a certain degree, you have to kind of sell yourself. You have to promote yourself, because there are other people who are kind of competing with you in a way, which is it's a bit alien to us. We don't really have that in the NHS. So we have to acknowledge that it is a kind of competitive environment, and we need to set out our stall. And the fact that many fully trained, reputable surgeons or physicians don't promote themselves means that there's an option there for the less fully trained doctors, practitioners, to possibly promote themselves more actively, and therefore people will think that they might be more suited to be treated by them than perhaps to be treated someone who's actually potentially more suitable but is not very good at promoting who they are and what they can do. And so it is just about being real and being honest about who you are and what you can do. It is not about trying to inflate yourself, because the fact of the matter is there are people out there who try and inflate themselves, who try and inflate what they can do, who they are, what sort of training and qualifications they've got. And if you don't try and tell people who you are, even though you may have those qualifications or more suitability than them, it will make it look like they're better, even though they may not be better. So it is about being ethical, about being transparent, about being honest. And, I would say there's an argument, maybe it's a bit strong to say you're being unethical, but you're not being very helpful to patients if you are not saying, I have done this much training in whatever it is, interventional cardiology, or it's particularly rife in plastic surgery. What was the topic that I do? You're not being helpful to patients by not letting them know that there are people who are maybe not trained in certain surgical specialties or certain aspects of that surgery, who are still offering that surgery. And because we can talk about legislation and governments, but at the end of the day, that may or may not happen. And at the moment, people are doing procedures outside of their scope of practice. I know that they shouldn't be, but they are. And so it's about saying to people, this is my scope of practice. This is what I do, and this is where I am, and make a choice. Because I think when I say things like, you've got to tell people it's not what you know, it's what people think, it makes it sound like you've got to try and push yourself on people. Don't push yourself on anyone. Just say, this is who I am. This is what I do. These are the sorts of treatments that I offer. This is the sort of training I've had. And these are the sort of results that you can expect. Just let them know who you are, where you are and what you can offer. Because right now, there are people having treatments that you could do, and they're having them done by other practitioners, not because they know about you and you're too expensive, or they don't like you, or they don't think that you can do it, simply because either they don't know you exist, or they know you exist, but they don't think that you can do the procedure that they want. And so your job as part of promoting your practice is to basically let people know you exist and let people know what it is that you can do for them. That's it. No inflation, no um, coaxing them in or anything like that. Simply, this is who I am. This is where I work. These are the hospitals I work at, and these are the sort of things that I can do to help people. This is what I do to help people, whatever surgeon or physician, whatever specialty you're in. That is it, and that is why it is all about people knowing who you are and what you can do. It's about what they know that you can do, because a lot of them out there don't know that you can do it, and they don't know you can exist. Yeah, so let people know that you exist and let people know what you can do for them. Don't inflate it, don't coerce them, don't try and entice them in. That's it. Just let them know that you're there. Hope that's been helpful. I'll be here back next week for more of the same.